Hello and welcome back to round one back nine coverage of the MPO feature card here at the 2025 Prodigy presents the Waco Annual Charity Open, otherwise known as Waco. BigBarri commentary. He's Jules, I'm Jerm. On the front nine, we saw that you got to shoot a lot under par if you want to be competitive at this event. Nothing's changed over the 9 years we've been here. It's that way every year. This year, so far, Nathan Queen off to a hot start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that. 9 through 9 with a par.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the list and 28th place is 4 under par. That's almost getting half the holes on the front nine. That's kind of a wild experience being out here at Waco. And what's crazy to me is how over the last few years, everybody's just gotten so good because this this is the beast. You don't get the name the beast for being a little meow meow kitty cat course, but it is now.
It feels that way. I mean, just the evolution of disc golf has taken us to more of the big bomber golf style courses, a lot more of the artificial out of bounds. This place plays a lot more with the technical, beautiful scenery, the tough woods, the mesquite-ish type trees.
Yeah. Little check-in with Bradley Williams right here. He's tied for 28th, which means he's 4 under par.
4 under. With like, how many other people were 4 and 5 under? It was like 50 people at those two scores.
Known for his impeccable form.
Yes.
Drop. Oh.
Off the cage. My
Give
goodness.
me that.
Very close.
He's still mad about it somehow.
Well, I mean, I think he's probably realizing, oh goodness, if this doesn't hit the cage, I'm going 45 long.
Yeah, he's still going to be down there.
Yeah, he's got to earn it still. And he earns it. And takes the birdie. Gets him to 5 under. Gets to enjoy his card with Niklas Antala. And Zach Nash, after the fantastic birdie he took on 9, he will send it. I mean, this thing is spinning, folks.
Wow, past all the trees.
Is
almost
spinning.
Oh, great kick. That's a putt, I think.
Well, either whether he's trying to make it or not, he's going to be going through the putting motions on this next shot. That is, I mean, that's most of the 591 right there. I mean, it's nearly all of it.
This is a great play right here, right down the middle. Can't draw it up any better. That's what's cool about this hole. You can mid-range off the tee and get in position, or you can go 500 feet. This guy,
loves shots like this. Just nice little hyzer flip blaster. Misses the line just by a bit. But these little fairway shots like this that promote the high-speed driver, Ezra usually gobbles up. So does this guy. Look at the shape on this one, Paul.
golf shot.
Wow.
Land it soft, too.
Hyzer flipping the whole way. Technical approach shot for Ezra.
Gets it on the Anheuser.
Does it
Needs to get edge. That'll do. His putting skills is pretty
well done.
Good. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for him hitting that initial gap on the right angle, I mean, he's just a couple inches higher away from being parked. And Luke, a little mild flex. That's going to get to the bottom of the hill.
Kind of like by where Bradley was.
I think he got some help there at the end of the flight.
Yeah, you can see Nash up there on the left. So this is about 110 probably. That's some good touch. Nice birdie. Oh, yeah, this is 80 feet.
We've seen twos before on this hole.
Might be the farthest we've seen on camera so far, I think.
I can't recall anything drastically closer than that. That's a great birdie. Ezra is locked in, folks. 7 of the last 9. Showed a little nerves on that first hole with the 3-putt, and since then it has been business as usual, going right back to his Florida ways.
There's a good birdie. 3 under for Luke. Nice little battle back after a bogey par start. par.
Going 3-3 on 9-10 is some serious work right there. Good stuff. Both for Zach and Luke. And Ezra as well. Or did Ezra take a 4?
Oh, this is a star.
2 holes ago. I'm saying 2 holes ago. I'm just thinking back to 9. Yes, he did. But still, look at the work since the bogey from Luke way back when. It has been a lot of solid golf being played. A fun par 3 here at hole 11, 279 feet. Just don't kick right. Oh my gosh. We have never really seen anyone do it, but it happens. This tree right here is the main one you're trying to miss just to the right side or just to the left side. All too often the shot is just too down the center and you hit that last one and you're left with a 60-foot putt on a pretty precarious green. A lot of rollaways occur with low miss putts.
Trying the hyzer flip. If this gets clean, it does not. Typically end up right high of the basket, and then you got one of the scariest putts on the course.
It's quick. You can see that wind coming through. The Brazos is just to the left side of this tree line.
That's going to be tricky. Anytime you have to ante or hyzer around with that little drop off, might be too close, too laid up.
That looks absolutely dimed. Ezra, beautiful putter shot down the middle. Little mini flex for Gannon, maybe working its way to the top of the hill and all the way back to hole 7 or 6. Goodness gracious. That thing
sped up once it hit the ground.
I hit a patch of ice. Oh, no.
Huh? Not the worst.
I'm not surprised that was tricky for Zach. That's a really weird spot. There's like 5 or 6 not really good routes to take.
Oh, Luke is on it now.
Watch out.
Nice patience from him. Not panicking. Now he's 4 under.
Really solid delivery on that putt. Vision obscured. Do we miss a Gannon layup, or they just think he's closer? And Zach will drop his first stroke of the tournament with this one. And Ezra keeps things going here.
Oh, and some work. Knocks it down, bogey. Got to get up and down from where he was.
Yeah, I mean, it is tricky, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't have been better with his execution. That was just he held on to the putt just a bit too long and paid the price. Meanwhile, it's kind of been a slow round for Gannon. From the pace that he set last year, I think the expectations are at an all-time high, which is something that he only has done to himself with his excellent play last year. That being said, 4 under is not necessarily out of it by any means, but he's going to want to get things going.
Yeah, par 4 here, hole 12. Left to right around the corner, kind of throwing down. Tough ante backhand. You want the sidearm skip. Keep it on hyzer angle the whole time. If it flips up to flat, you're going to go deep, and that's a scary place to be. Really tight fairway, then it goes back up a hill to the right. One of the most unique holes that we play all year.
Nothing really shaped like this on tour besides hole 12.
And here's that flip up I was talking about.
Got lucky. I could have easily hit one of those corner trees and kicked left, and from there, you're just scrambling to get back to the fairway.
People who throw this backhand turnover, reminds me of oh yeah, there's guys that are that good in the world, because you step up to this hole, it's such a tight corner, wind's howling. That's a elite level.
That is such a good throw.
Because this is just not hard compared to that. the sidearm.
Oh, the sidearm?
hyzer.
Yeah, the sidearm.
It's
I mean,
just like, oh,
it's a pretty
basic,
natural
okay.
shot here. That being said, Gannon's going to be in a weird spot. Going to be hard to get any look for birdie. Zach gets a little bit extra distance and counter skips to the middle. That is about as good as you can expect or ever want with a forehand.
Got some twigs to worry about. Flatten out, kick out. Okay, yeah.
Scrambleable. Inside line. It is possible to get to the top of the hill.
Gonna need a big skip right. Yes.
Yeah, it gets almost to the top of the hill. It's pretty good from that inside line. It may have rolled back a little bit, but should be a pretty easy par now. Ezra is so far up. He's going forehand second shot and throwing a great looking shot, honestly. Wow. Long and two with the forehand.
Golf clap.
Whoa. Ezra's been working on some other things, folks.
Why didn't you do that off the tee?
And it drives me crazy about those like backhand only players. A lot of them not fun to play catch with. They just I don't know why they can't throw a frisbee. They can throw a disc in any angle, any shape. And I'm not saying Ezra.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Isaac. I'm just kidding. He's good at two. Well done from Luke.
Just fine. Oh, he did roll back down.
Yeah, not too much. Just, is he trying to make it? I think is the only thing why it maybe, not just trying to be careful with it. Smart. So it's cleanups for the other three. Meanwhile, Ezra has this outside look with a pesky twig in the way and just cannot get a good putting stroke on it.
Crazy to me that counts as a missed putt.
Right?
It's like, oh, I'm straddling out. I can't. The wind's pushing it. It's almost not makeable. Obviously, that one was makeable, but
I know what you mean. I mean, there's a fine line that's drawn somewhere. It has to be where it's like, clearly this is not an attempt at a made putt, but because of how close I am, it goes down as such.
It's almost like a chip shot. You know, you're chipping it. You could make it. Usually you come pretty close, but
Nathan Queen still leading the way through 12 holes. He is at 10 under.
My name is Gannon Buhr, and today's date is October 8th, 2024. We have 2 days until the 2024 USTGC. I've never used Wikipedia one time.
Really?
I had a one-stroke lead going at 18 and ended up losing. We went to a 4-hole playoff with Drew Gibson. For breakfast, I had eggs, bacon, and French toast. So far, the 2024 European Open, heated battle with Ricky Wysocki, for sure. The goal is just to run out of holes because he's gonna birdie almost everything. I'd like to get rid of him. I'd like to transfer them to my fans. I might be better, actually, if I do it with our friends. Disc golf on YouTube. Maybe do better at the 3-round tournaments. I didn't do very good this year. I only won one of them. Gotta go Anthony Barella. He looked unbeatable. Definitely had me shaking. Top 5 most talkative players on tour. Ricky, I'm still happy to talk to you, and you can talk to me if you want. My Circle 1 stats are ruined. Just carry the bag. That's your only job is to carry the bag. If I talk to you, you can talk. If I don't talk to you, probably don't talk. If you have a good churro, that's the best thing ever. Oh boy.
You guys, this is a series that's going to be coming out on Jomez for several years running. And it's going to be with Gannon, and they're going to be the same questions. And we're going to see how this young man develops over the years. It's going to be a fun series. I know I'm going to be following along.
Yeah.
I'm just entertained by that ad by itself. So that's going to be something to look out for here on the JomezPro channel. Gannon Buhr. Interesting young man. A lot wise beyond his years.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fun to see how he matures through the years. Those change.
And we're going to check in here with Paul Ulibarri. Yes, sir. Flex shot. Oh, my goodness. Almost ringing that up. That should get you to 9 under.
A little meat on the bone.
Yeah, should get you to 9. Okay. Should get you to 9 under, does get you to 9 under.
All I'm thinking is leave it left side of the basket so you don't have the headwind. Leave it directly into the headwind. Okay.
Cleans it up. Luke going the safer forehand hyzer route off the tee. Couldn't quite see. Okay, so it makes it.
I think he hits the tree, kicks right.
Yeah. But still,
Fine.
Once you're past these trees, you're in position. There is this down the middle route that is enticing for some.
Like this guy?
Like this guy, for instance.
Oh.
Hate to not get to see that full flight. Looked like that was starting to move left, though.
Yeah, it looked like maybe too far left.
Perhaps.
Gannon gets it turned over. Now it just needs to slow down.
Are you for real with this?
Oh, don't slow down. Speed up. My bad. My beat.
What a throw. Left to right crosswind.
Definitely a helping wind. The thing is, though, if you turn it over a little too much, that mandatory comes up quick on the right.
And so does the road sometimes.
Oh.
This is what I
guys.
wanted to see. I wanted to see Zach Nash just get nasty on this tee. And boy, oh boy, does he ever. Exactly why I foreshadowed this on the front 9, because he just has that. That is his bread and butter. That is his modus operandi. He is a low beaming son of a gun.
Yeah, he's definitely got that elite distance.
Uh-huh.
Great shot from Luke.
And good looking touch here with Ezra's approach inside bullseye. And we're going to have a couple of eagle putts. First up, Gannon. High left. Inside the circle.
Gotta connect on this one. Tough.
Yeah, you hate to see that one.
That wind's ripping.
I don't know what hurts more, though. That miss for par, or birdie, excuse me, for Luke, or the eagle miss for Zach.
Probably, definitely, for sure, the birdie putt, because then you don't get nothing for it.
Yeah.
Zach's tapping in with a little birdski, move along,
Sure.
get to 5 under.
They both sting, but yeah, I'm with you. Obviously, the score being higher, more pain inflicted. Quick shout out to Jakob Konopek with a nice eagle from 110, and to the guy I played with, Corey Ellis, who went down the middle and put it about 12 feet away. Corey Ellis just diming it up. And that's not it from report cards on my card with the Eagles, because we got a few more coming up. But first, a shorty, hole 14, 303 straight ahead. Really, this hole is almost entirely dictated by the wind. Like we mentioned on the front 9, the wind conditions can be tailwind, headwind, crosswind, any direction. You're never surprised by it. Just adjusting to that. A lot of backhands, a lot of forehands on this hole. Sometimes a straight putter, sometimes an overstable driver. You can see it all here on hole 13.
Big left to right here, so the straight variety is what we're going to look for. Turned over, get stable, Bubba.
That's going to nestle up nice.
That's so good.
He is really feeling it. About to get to 9 under through 14 with a bogey on the card. That is...
Beat the tree. Does. Wow. A little mwah.
I didn't really like it at any point. I thought it was going to hit that tree the entire time. You get caught up, but fights its way through. Parked.
Hit the rock.
Yeah, it's like almost carbon copy of what we saw with Ezra just a few moments ago. Little shocked to not see Luke go with the forehand, but the left to right wind does take the forehand up the hill, and Luke is a great two-way player. That could have been a helpful tree.
Yeah, I think it was turned over. I think you're right there. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Great effort.
Good cleanup after it leaked a little on him, too. Look at those flags.
Yeah, it's
Like, this is...
ripping. Not an easy putt.
I mean, it almost
it's
popped
easy.
out. Yeah, yeah.
It's an easy putt, but
But you don't know what's going to happen. It, like you just saw, it could just bounce back to you.
we've seen crazier things.
Like what?
Well, I mean, we saw James Conrad at DDO miss a putt from inside bullseye on the 5th hole. We've seen me play entire rounds of disc golf. A lot of crazy things happen. Clay Edwards and Nathan Queen at the top at 11 under through 14, followed closely behind by Calvin Heimberg.
Hole 15, par 4, 558. Out of bounds left, out of bounds right. Those are obvious. New out of bounds right here in the middle. You can see the white stakes. Don't land in here. You either have to go for it, clear this, which is about 500 feet, or lay up short, 2-shot hole. Switches from par 3 to par 4.
Classic risk reward.
I love
Par 4.
it. I love the change here.
I think it's a nice thing to have a hole where if someone has the cojones to go for it, reward them with the eagle. I don't think we have enough of that. I think anytime you can reach a hole in one shot, the immediate inclination is to just say it's a par 3.
Oh, did he hit a branch there
And it
and
was
come back
flirting
in?
with the OB the entire way. Stays in bounds, fortunately. Ezra and Gannon, elite distance guys. For them to back off this says a lot about A, the wind, or just B, they're sticking to the game plan.
What'd you do here?
I just pretty similar to what Gannon did. Just a forehand. I got to see Calvin just go straight at the pin and just put it 5 feet away. And I was
This
like,
might need a sit.
I think he's fine. Well, it's pushing it, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It takes quite a bit of power if you're going with the hyzer to get to that OB fence.
You got to be careful. A little drop of the elbow, and this could go over the fence, too, if you don't have the height right.
Right, correct.
And this got turned over, and it
road
needs
skip.
a lot
Good
of
second
help.
road skip. Third road skip. Oh, hits the curb. And that's going to be devastating for Luke. That's going to bring him way back. Yeah, it doesn't get much distance. And now he's in a really tricky spot because he's got to be thinking, I got to get over now.
And this is going to flip on him. Hurry. Oh, fantastic.
Wow. Very good. Very, very good there for Luke. He's going to have a chance to save the par. That's the kind of shot that can get away from you quick.
Oh, this hole could get away from you with that. One more mistake out of bounds, all of a sudden triple's looking at you in the face.
I know. Just like, goodness gracious, flirting with danger. Ezra kind of takes a little,
Yeah, make
reads
sure
the wind.
Yeah, be on
keeps
the
it
right
lower.
side. Yeah.
Mhm. Trying to map out the correct words there because it's like not the same thing in golf where you're reading a line unless you're throwing the exact same shot. But just as a reminder, okay, don't go left. And he made sure of it.
Good putt.
That is honestly one of the best putts we've seen Gannon make today. He hasn't, the few opportunities we've seen him have from that range just haven't quite dropped. That being said, he's still fighting away at 7 under par, still playing a good round.
Good putt.
Whoa.
What a save from way back there. Sheesh.
Did not think that would be the score with the early out of bounds.
See, it says 4 under, 60th place.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yep.
It is windy. I mean, you take the whole entire disc golf world out here and put them. This tour is the only one with players that are just going to do this to this field.
Right.
Like, it is that tough.
Well, Calvin was the only eagle
Really?
in the entire field, but the wind was kind of changing up through different cards throughout the day, so.
Bend the reality of what a disc can be and discover Ultra Soft plastic. Ultra Soft has the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Check out the entire collection today on ProdigyDisc.com or your local retailer.
Paul, we have finally made some adjustments to hole 16, and honestly, it is about time. This hole has been just kind of an awkward distance to be considered a par 4. It was too short. Way too long to be a par 3, and now they finally added some artificial OB, and I think it really protects the hole in a great way. There's still the big opportunity to go for the eagle, but by doing so, you risk the out of bounds, and you would be out of bounds pretty early. A lot of players are going to play the layup shot intentionally and just make this a 2-shot par 4.
Yeah, I think a welcome change to the hole, and this needs to sit. It does get, see how that comes in quick on the left.
It does get in there quick, and it's blind. You can't see your disc land from the tee pad on that layup area.
Nose up, crashing down just fine. It's going to leave about 300 to the pin.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Between that and 315-ish.
Yeah.
And not even the aggressive player that Zach Nash is was enticed in going for this one, but it looks like there's a little bit of a head left to right. Not the greatest wind to go for the eagle too.
Oh no.
Luke has just pulled this one, and this is going to be, we're just way out of bounds. Doesn't even, well, it has an outside chance, but it's not going to make it back.
It's going to be OB early, and now he's got another one of those decisions. Do I want to go over? And he's going over.
It looks like, yeah, he's pulling his line all the way on the OB line, and if this doesn't hurry back, he is.
The road.
Oh boy. And this is how it happens. I mean, a simple hyzer shot off the tee is all it takes, and Luke is now in some serious danger of a real tournament-ending number. It gets a lot more hyzer on that one. It hits some early limbs up high.
Oh, and that just barely sneaks in.
Oh my gosh. Only by what, couple of feet maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And Luke's really done well. It was a slow start for him. Got things going at a certain point. Just threw a lot back at the course and the field with whatever he's going to end up taking on 16. I think Gannon and Zach are probably closer to 350. Pretty short tee shots. Very conservative.
I didn't really love the putter play there.
Wow.
You want to keep it low underneath these limbs. I think Ezra's got a little more room to work with. He's going with the putter. Keeps it low.
I mean,
beautiful.
That is a great play from Ezra. He's going to continue rolling. But we're seeing just from the provisionals called, they weren't sure if he crossed in bounds.
Off the branches.
Yeah, that makes sense. But just on the scoring average on this hole, yes, it's a windy day, but on the elevated basket with the new out of bounds, only playing at a 3.85 shows that this out of bounds change has drastically changed the hole quite a bit. And it looks like Zach is taking.
Yeah, he hit inbounds, they're saying probably,
okay.
And then bounced
They
back.
wanted to run it by the spotter, I'm sure. Get some more information.
Yeah, you see, Luke was only 3 feet in.
Man, that is living on the edge, and
that's it.
That is not the putt you want.
For a 7.
For the triple. Oh, my goodness. Once again, Gannon. Just
Looked good
barely
for a long time.
Just barely off the mark. And Luke does send it in.
Yeah, and that's just one you don't feel like it's going to bite you because you can play so conservative,
Yeah.
play around to the left side, have your disc always kind of traveling inbounds, and it happens quick because you get put in a position that you were never practicing, that never even thought was possible.
How could I possibly mess up the hyzer shot on this one?
And now you're throwing a shot into a wind you've never played in, flips over out of bounds. You see it quite often.
It's crazy how fast the game plan can just get just totally demolished.
Because then you're sitting there, oh, this is the easiest hole ever. I'm not going to just pitch it over there and take my bogey.
Yeah, you want to fight for it. I understand, but in the end, it costs him 3, and he's now 12 behind the leader, which is Calvin Heimberg now with the eagle back there on 15, and then the birdie on 16. He is now at 13 under. A chance if he were to go birdie on 17, 18 to get to 15.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you how scoreable it still is, even in these crazy winds.
Right.
Hole 17, par 4, 610, left to right off the tee. Really want to throw a sidearm. Let's check in with Nathan Queen. He'll show us how to do it.
He's having himself a day. This is the inside line. This could find a good spot if it doesn't roll down the hill too much. That's probably going to be in a good spot. You can't.
Yes, please.
That's as good as it gets.
You're not going to see anybody else in this good a position, I don't think.
No. And a conservative shot, but this is playing to the right side of the pin. I mean, just how you draw up 17. Yeah, you'd like to be under the basket, but that's just a conservative way to play. Trust your putt, send it in. 12 under now for Nathan. Also checking in here with Mr. Dickerson. A little bit early on the tee shot, having to go the high spike forehand.
Sit.
It does.
That's a rare thing to see. Is them sit.
They like to roll, don't they?
They like to kick back left. Just inside the circle.
Wobble gobble. Ching.
Give me that. Nice hands.
It's just an interesting style to know that when you putt that much touch, it just wants to hit the chains and just drop like a brick.
Yep. Ezra going with the backhand turnover. This gets through. It could get to a similar spot as Nathan.
Yeah, I want to. It's tough with that catch cam. I want to say he's somewhere between where we saw Nathan and Dickerson.
Right.
More of the traditional play for Gannon, the wide swinging high-speed driver with the forehand, and that's going to come up a little short as well. That could have some ceiling issues.
Is this the third hardest hole, or is it playing as a second?
Hole 18 is going to be the hardest hole.
Right.
Let's see what else is up there.
Zach gets it into a good spot. As long as that stops rolling, perfect.
Yeah,
nice.
that's great.
Low ceiling, but he'll be able to do something from there.
It's the fourth most difficult. 12 and 9, those holes that used to be par 5s that are now par 4s, are just a little bit tougher. Luke, gets just barely around, and that is now in
A1.
A1 position, exactly. That's A2 position. Queen was in A1 position.
That's not even a real position he was in.
That's just A?
Yeah, that's just a position.
No ceiling issues for Gannon, but
Koling.
he does almost to it. What?
Wow.
Wow. What a shot. Great touch on the hyzer, and for it to sit there after one jump skip. Very well thrown.
Yeah, everybody just is in fantastic position.
Really.
Here.
One of the better grouping of
baby.
drives you're going to see. Wow.
It's going to get Zach back to 7 under. His sidearm's been really nice today.
The whole game's been great. Just a couple of mistakes. The unfortunate just misplay of 16, just going out of bounds off the tee. Or on the approach shot, actually.
Yeah. Here's the sidearm from Ezra. Gets it wide.
Oh. And that is fortune smiling upon you. I am sure we all know that was going to go in the water.
She did her best.
Sure.
She's not going anywhere except the water there.
No, I'm just saying it's a great break.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I'm just talking out of surprise because of what we just saw.
I didn't know that was coming. And that one goes OB. Unfortunate for Luke. And this is not the putt you want for the par.
Get out of here, Branch.
Looks like he's going to give it a little.
Oh, what a putt.
Oh, not a little nothing. He sends it in there. You talk about the scary putt back on, I think, hole 11 if you're at the top of the hill putting back towards that little slope behind the pin. That's nothing compared to the putts on 17 and 18 back towards the water.
Yep.
Those things are frightening.
Doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because Ezra normally makes that putt. He says, I don't even want to try to make it. That's not fair. I don't know if that's actually what's going on through his head, but it seemed like that. I can't believe, I've never seen him lay up a putt ever. Do you think that's what just happened?
He might have been trying to make it and it's just bad.
I think that's less likely than him just laying it up out of principle.
I don't.
I've never seen Ezra.
He might have laid it up because it was tough. He's not going to lay it up because he feels sorry for the field. The guy's 100 under par over the last two pro tour.
I'm gonna give him the credit. He's a man of principle who's currently sitting at 11 under, trailing Heimberg, who had a birdie putt on 17, sent his putt over the basket from about where Luke was, and ended up taking the bogey. So coming back to the field a little bit, still a great mark at 12 under right now, heading into the ever so scary hole 18. Always a matter of which direction the wind's blowing. If it's a straight headwind, it is a tough gamble to go for this pin. But if it's only mild headwind, most of these guys still have what it takes to get there.
Yeah, it's a right to left cross. These guys are going to be able to just throw all highs or wide, and it should be able to swing in. See if Macbeth can show us. Yeah, see wide.
Yep.
Flip it up. Let the wind now just get it cooking. Go in.
Oh boy, that was a close one.
Look at he hits 50 short, ends up 50 long.
I mean, as wide as that was, could you ever imagine that it still would be 50 feet left of the pin? And doesn't make it. That's one of the first times I feel like I've ever seen Macbeth not to hole 18. He just dials this hole up every year, it seems like.
Got greedy, tried to make it.
Well,
he's like, I've two'd it before, never won it though.
He's never won it, but he's come close.
He's did the tournament.
Twice. There's two-time champions, and he's one of them.
Gannon gets it wide, swinging back around. I'm sitting next to one of those guys.
Oh, boy. Gannon Buhr. He wants to become a two-time this year. Shots like that will help him on his quest. That would be to get him to 9 under.
Just get this wide at all costs.
Have we seen a tournament ace? I remember Albert Tam aced this in practice, maybe last year or 2 years ago, but I don't know.
Needs to sit, maybe?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That is not a problem most players have.
I mean, he just goes too far.
I mean, a lot of players could go out of bounds long, but at that height and that width and still go be long, that's a Zach Nash problem.
I was honestly worried about it a little bit. Out of the hand because, we know the speed he throws at. And even this one deep.
Those are scary putts.
I'm sure he'll just lay it up out of principle.
I'm probably totally off base, but that just was shockingly low for how he normally putts.
And he's got this turned over. And that's a go for it that just ended up being not going.
Right.
Because now you just have to walk all the way around.
The worst part is you got to go all the way
around.
Yeah. This should just be like a little bridge to get to the layups.
Tough approach.
Real touchy, right? Got to land it flat.
Oh, he turned it over. Okay, yeah,
That
fine.
should be okay.
I think he might have been trying to make it.
Hopefully that's okay. Zach Nash to save the par. It gives it a decent effort. It'll end up being a bogey for him, and he'll drop to 6 under. Not a terrible round one, honestly.
No.
But it's going to be
6 back.
6 back of this guy, who I believe is going to be in solo first place when the scores come up. Luke is actually lucky that didn't roll OB. That was a poor attempt there. Unfortunately, it's going to be an even par round for Luke.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see before you putt.
How many putts can Gannon miss and still shoot 8 unders? It's just he's just so good. No bogeys on the day, and that's what you do. I mean, if you just give yourself a bunch of chances from 40 feet and you miss them, you're going to get some birdies along the way, and it's going to feel terrible for him. Still an outstanding round for almost anyone in the field.
Yeah.
And 21st place right now. For him, yeah, it's a little bit back of what he'd like to be.
4 back though. I mean, that's
it.
That's not a lot out here. You can go on a par streak in those woods real quick.
Yep.
And be caught by all sorts of people. That's the thing about this course is if you par a hole, 20 people are getting a stroke on you. And there's no excuses.
Well, you had to shoot 11 under if you wanted to get on lead card, and even for Nathan Queen and Clay Edwards, who were leading the pack after the front 9, slowed down a bit in the back 9. It wasn't enough for them. We're going to see some familiar names here on our lead card tomorrow. Chris Dickerson, Adam Hammis, who had this tournament in first position going into the final round a couple years ago when he got that ace on hole 11, or hole 8, excuse me. Calvin Heimberg, incredible round, finished with 2 putts for birdie that ended up going out of bounds. Threw 4 strokes away in the final 2 holes, was this close to going 15 under.
Wow.
So watch out for Calvin. If he continues throwing like he threw today, he could be a problem going into the weekend.
Totally agree. Absolutely.
It's going to do it for us here, round 1 at Waco. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you tomorrow.